I've been playing around with the little surface grinder today, started to try to get it apart. And the reason I want to is that I knew this thing was dirty. It's been sitting up for a very long time, several years. And it was set up in a real dusty environment inside that little shed. So I want to get it apart and at least clean it and re-oil it and put it back together and see how it runs. Now we may do some other work as we get into it, as I find out what's wrong with it. But I got the table off, and I'll show you what I'm finding as I get a little bit deeper into it. I got the table sitting outside, so this is where the table sits and runs back and forth. It's got what looks to be a serpentine belt that they use that bolts to the bottom of the table, and this is what moves the table back and forth as you're hand feeding it. So here's your two ways, and you have these roller ways that go on there. And this is where I'm talking about. Everything is really dirty in here. So I don't know what kind of wear we have yet. I'll need to do some cleaning and inspect them, but like all this just feels really dirty. All this it's like dry. It's got film on there, but it's really dirty. So that's why I wanted to clean that. And it looks like we have some oil valleys in there where oil goes down. I'm not sure yet. I got to do a little bit more investigating. So see, all this needs to be cleaned. You can see the all of the dirt on there, all dusty and dirty. So I'm going to get all this cleaned up, and maybe I can do a little bit of measuring and see what kind of wear it's got on there. I got the table sitting out here, and of course that's the bottom side, so there's your V-way and your flat way. It's just real dry. It's like a sticky film of oil. Yeah, that's not metal burr. That's just the oil film just rolled up there at the end. So maybe I can get that cleaned off, and I think I see area here that has not been touched that should be still factory, a factory edge, just like right here. This has not been touched right here, so I may be able to use that and do a little bit of measuring on it and see. I believe this thing had some kind of way guard on it. I think that's what all these little screws right here are for. And I think there's just a little guard that bolts on right there that hangs down, that blocks chips and stuff from going in there. And that's one of the things that I was a little confused about whenever I got this, is that there's nothing there keeping dust from going right inside that first roller right up in here. So that might be something that I can just make. All right, there's the top of the table. That's where the vise will sit right there. So once this all goes back together, I'll just we'll surface grind that and then put our mag chuck back down on there. So I'm going to go into the surface grinder a little bit more, just mainly just do some cleaning and inspecting today, but I'll let you know what I find out. So this is the bottom of the surface plate table. These are the ways. This is your V-ways, your flat way. This was originally scraped in. It was hand scraped, and on this side here you can definitely see the wear pattern. There's wear. You can still see a strip along here, and on the ends you can still see the flaking on there, the half moon flaking. What I'm doing is measuring how much wear is in here. So I'm using a really good 1-3 block because it's pretty well flat on each side, because those rollers just roll in the center of it there. On that side we come back right near 0. This is a 10th indicator, by the way. That's actually dropping off. So we're about, not quite 2,000ths. And we come back up on the original surface. And then there's a little strip of wear right there on that side of it too. Let's just say we're going to start at 1/10. So about 1/1000 in that one spot right there. I got the surface plate, not the surface plate, the surface grinder table set up in the mill because I've got some broken bolts in here that I want to get out, and this is the basically like the little chip guard or away guard on the back side of the table. This is what's missing on the front side of that. I didn't realize that until I started messing around with it. So I was going to take this off, and I've got to copy one, or I got to copy it. There's one stupid screw right here that will not come out, and it's those stupid little slotted screws. They weren't made very deep, so they wanted to kind of twist as you try to get them out. So I'm going to go ahead and just drill this one. Maybe use a left-hand drill and see if I can get that one to back out. But while it's up here, there's a bunch of tapped holes on this thing, and there's a lot of weird stuff that's been going on with this surface grinder that I don't understand. So you got a broken bolt here, and there's a broken bolt there, and there's tapped holes on the other side over here. There's a bunch of tapped holes everywhere. And the only thing that I can figure that these tapped holes along here is for some kind of guard. And this is a copy of the manual that a viewer had sent me some time back. Now it's got the guard that's supposed to bolt on this end right here, which is missing, of course. I think there's some more broken bolts on the other side too. But this is the back side of the table, like the back side that's up against the column here. And the only thing I see that it could possibly be for, all these holes, is that this was in a wet attachment that you could buy separately for it, and it looks like it's got a guard on the front and the back of it. So that's what I'm assuming those holes are for, is for that right there. I don't know, but anyway, I got to get some broken bolts out. I'm gonna start with the first solution is a nice punch and a hammer. I'm gonna see if those are loose, and maybe I can just work them back. Ah, look at that. That one's loose. Basically just try to find you a little edge somewhere that you can tap it. Just light taps, and basically just unscrew it. I know I'm blocking the camera here, but I gotta get right here. I'll see if I can get a tighter shot actually. You could also just weld you a nut on it, or we like to weld a washer and a nut on it. Get it backed out a little bit like this though, and sometimes you can just take you some pliers and anything really to grab it with. There it is. All right, there's that one. All right, here's the other one here. Let's see. That one ain't wanting to move. That one must be bottomed out, or it's just tight in there. So we can try one of our left-handed drill bits in this one and see if we can get it to back out of there. All right, I'm going to try a left-hand drill, but I've got to cut it down to get the peak of it down. Anyway, it's kind of messed up where a drill won't follow it. It's, you know, it's up and down like that. So I'm going to try this center drill to see if we can get a center hole started in it. Hopefully just trying to move back in there. I was able to get it to twist just a little bit. Whenever I turned the camera off, I played with it a little bit more. Let's see. It's pretty rough. Let me try this one first right here. But it might work. I've got some new ones here that a viewer had sent me. Some metric left-hand drills. I haven't used any of them yet. Let's see if this will grab it. Make sure we got a shot there. Thing sure isn't wanting to catch it. See what size that one is on there. There we go. That one finally worked. Oh yeah. That sharp drill was just the ticket. It pulled itself down in there instantly and grabbed onto it and twisted it on out of there. All right. So that's two down. Let's move over here to this one and get it done. I got a drill in there that I'm going to use to just line up this next hole with. At least we'll be lined up one way. Measure the center to center distance on this to see if it's something standard or if it's some weird. It looks like 4 5/16. All right, I think it's 4 5/16 center to center. So from there, I'll just step it over using the hand wheel here. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to center drill it. I'm going to try a left-handed drill to see if it'll pop it loose. But at the same time, I'm going to be drilling it down in there a bit, and if it doesn't come out of there, then I might grab an easy out or a bolt extractor and give it a little bit of pressure with that and see if it'll pop it loose. Should be pretty well centered up. I like using the center drill because it gives the other drill something to follow there. And whenever I run the left-hand drills, I always slow it way down. I'm not really trying to drill it. I'm trying to get that drill to grab it and snap it loose and unscrew it. So that's why I slow it down. But you got to go the right direction. Doesn't feel like it's wanting to. Let me get a chip brush. Now, all right, what it's done broke the, let's see. I don't know what it's doing. It feels like it pushed it down, but I don't know how it would do that. If the screw's threaded in there, so what is going on here? Alright, I don't know. Might have to go get a little bit of air. There we go. Okay. Go ahead and get that off out of the way. Alright, whatever's in there, whatever's left is way down in the hole. I figured out the screw size is 832. So let's see if I can get this 832 tap going in there. I think that'll work. So I'll do that with the rest of the holes through here and just clean them all out. And after that, I'll probably go ahead and just take it out and flip it over and check the other side and see if we got some more to do. I got the table flipped over and I was just going to give you a highlight of what I'm going to do. So it's just more of the same, really. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks like that might be 1, 6, 7 broken bolts on this. That's probably that might be one. It looks like it might just be trash. All right, so I'm just going to be doing more of the same that I've already showed you. Just getting there and trying to drill it using a left-hand drill to get them to back out. But I don't really want to bore you with the same content that I've already showed. So that's really going to be it for this video right here. I'm going to get those bolts out of that. I got a couple pictures that I can show you. And until the next time I get back on it, we'll see you then.